Righty! Welcome to the next game. Playing the purple Zerg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 lines. And let's see the other players. So we have to wait until the first... No, actually we just have to wait until the worker starts to move, and then we can tell what race is that. Anyway, it will be a Terran. I think I can already tell it's a Terran. Yeah, okay. Playing the white Terran, it's basically today, so we are starting these new commentaries with two silly name players, because most of the guys have names that cannot be pronounced and totally confusing. So anyway, we have a TVZ, and since that the Terran player is like, yeah, because if let's say the third letter is a P, here instead of S, then it would be at least I could say GDP, and then we could start about the GDP per capita and so on. But right now this is a complete mess, and I cannot even make anything out of that. So the overlord was scouting the middle of the map, checking for mid build, and the SCV is like wow, that was. So first the SCV was thinking that the overlord was coming from this way, and then basically the SCV decided to come here and then check this base, thinking that the overlord originally came from that direction and then turned back because it didn't see the mid build. Anyway, fast factory by our white player, and standard choke opening by the barcode guy. So right now the overlord spots the position and race of the other player, but of course he already saw the SCV, so he knows that he's playing against a Terran player. And the SCV now finds the spot for purple, so the guys know the position of each other, they are next to one another. So basically this is nice for basically both players. It's really good for the Terran because they can irradiate the drones quite effectively. They can do some quick drops right here. But the same is true for the Zerg player, who can just simply go for a quick lurker drop or harass with Mutalisks. So Hydrogen is prepared, and purple is going for quick lurkers, which is quite alright in this situation, especially considering that white did not start starport, and actually he doesn't even have an academy, so he cannot even start, or it's like it doesn't even make sense to start a command center for a scanner. So yeah, he really has to hurry with this science facility, otherwise he will face some challenges against the lurkers. And purple is just slowly progressing. He has a free sunkens, of course, just to survive any kind of small scale attacks by the Terran, who is waiting for this to finish, and then he will start the science facility immediately. Come on, I'm sitting here for half a year. What what was that? Why didn't you? Oh my god, this SCV is stupid. He's drunk, he should go home. He's like, I am waiting for you guy to finish and then I can start. And then he didn't start the science facility, he started the starport. So it's like he was waiting for the permission of this guy. You cannot start the new starport until I finish this one, okay? You can yeah. Maybe this is a mistake. Maybe he really wanted the science facility, but maybe he just wants to go for very fast rate can be. But the problem is that he's not going to finish the game because the lurkers will finish him unless he can survive the lurker push. So he started the engineering bay to be able to add a few turrets at least outside here. But if purple goes for a drop, then he'll face some serious problems. So the lurkers are not prepared. He's sending them outside. He's actually okay. I thought that he will skip the tanks, but actually no. Yeah, so this SC will of course die, and the turret is delayed, which is alright for now. So purple survived of course this push, but he doesn't really have too much at home. He's making newer lurkers, but on the other hand, the Terran player has raids already and he continues pumping, so he can kill overlords. He can even harass the drones, as purple didn't prepare hydras or spore colonies. But white seems to stop there for a moment. The raids were a bit late to pick up, and they also started hitting on this hatchery first, so yeah, he wasn't really controlling. So right now the raids arrived, and then they are checking out for any kind of anti-air. They are looking for overlords, and he keeps continuing. He keeps attacking the buildings, which is not so great. He could have killed like 2 or 3 drones. Yeah, this lurker here has a nice, easy and nice time, or fun times, killing 2 tanks for free, 3 tanks for free, 3 tanks for free. Anyway, white doesn't have a detection yet, so that's the main problem I was mentioning a few moments ago, that basically white lost 3 tanks for free. Yeah. These raids are still like buildings. They don't want the drones. They are basically attacking the hydras, which is quite a mistake there. It's not so good. And yeah, one raid was saved, but of course he will need much more. This lurker has 10 kills, so it's really having a field day here. This lurker is hitting out of the ballpark. Anyways, yeah, white doesn't really care about detection, and he's very late with the vessel. He's not really hurrying, and defiler mount is already available, and basically with that the lurkers will have an easy time getting out of the base and go for a counterattack. Yeah, white is not really paying attention to the raids. He lets them die basically without getting any results, so that's not that great. He could have just saved basically like 7 or 8 raids by now and then used them against any air units or catching defilers. But instead he only has tanks right now. They are not too bad. So until the lurker is burrowed, he can of course shoot them. He can kill the lurkers under swarm, but once they are burrowed under swarm, of course the tanks cannot kill them unless they are closely next to each other, and then they take splash damage. But yeah, right now the endless shooting stars. Yeah, in my previous game, when the situation was the same, I just mentioned that this is the phase of the game when Terran player can go for a vacation, go to the McDonald's, get some cheeseburger menu, because of course he is not able to proceed here. Unless the Zerg player doesn't pay attention. Okay, that's a big mistake there. So the Zerg player was not really careful about that, and of course the swarm was off. So no more protection for the lurkers, and all of them died very easily to the tanks. But it seems that White is not really taking advantage. He doesn't. He didn't really. Yeah. And then right now the newer swarm arrived. So basically, White could have the possibility to advance until up here and set up the tanks right there, but he has to retreat to save those tanks, as Purple was able to put down one lurker, which is now being dodged. At least this is a very nice move. So he doesn't care about that one lurker, of course. And these three new lurkers are not really controlled. Yeah, not paying attention again for a moment, and White is now gathering up. He's just advancing and then killing that lurker for free. So Purple lost the Defiler, and then now he's in a bit of a trouble, as he cannot really protect these lurkers. White was playing there a bit awkwardly. He didn't really control the tanks well. He also lost a few units to the lurkers. But right now, yeah, he has the vessel, he has siege mode. He just has to make sure that the Scourge... yeah, that's what I wanted to say, that he should have controlled the vessel, because now the Scourge had an easy time killing it. Did White actually lose his... Yeah, White lost his engineering bay. And he had to really rely on vessels. But Triton Guardians arrived, and he basically doesn't have anything. He only has the science vessel to be able to fight. But these Guardians are basically enough to kill all these tanks, and White has to retreat. It's a bit of a sloppy game from White. He's not really... He lost quite a few. If he still had those raids from the beginning of the game, then this could come very handy. Or these, yeah, could have been used now against these air units by Purple. But basically, yeah, all his tanks are dying to the Guardians and the Mutalisks, so that's the price he's now paying for losing those raids earlier. He could have just finished the game very easily, but yeah, right now he had to reproduce those units. And the tanks still keep dying to Guardians, so he's now waiting for the Goliaths to be prepared, and then he can finally save those units. Yeah, both guys are a bit low on economy, so White does not have too much gas, while Purple doesn't have a good economy as well. I mean, he's lacking hatcheries, for example. He cannot really produce more drones and get gas. So this is a time he really needs this time to be able to add more hatcheries and get bigger and bigger. Yeah, finally White is controlling the air units a bit better. He keeps microing right now and keeps pulling back, trying to kill a few Vitalisks. But yeah, he's not always successful. Basically, he's giving some time to purple, and this is not really looking good for him. The more time he gives, the better chances purple has to grow, basically, and get more units and basically survive this push. Although White has a lot of tanks, he cannot really advance because of those Rookers, but yeah, there are like 5 Rookers, so of course it's enough to stop the army. The most effective way of breaking this is a nuke, of course, or having like 12 vessels and then irradiating everything under the swarm. Right, so finally the vessels arrived, and they have the chance to irradiate the lurkers under the swarm, and then once they are killed, he might consider moving in. These buildings are very on top of each other. It's like a nice, nice architecture there. Like everything is next to each other. There are no breaks, nothing. Yeah, no space left out. But anyway, yeah, the vessels are still just flying all over the place. He's probably, yeah, he was gathering up on energy. At least now one lurker no, it was a devourer who got the irradiate. These guys are really placing the buildings in a strange way, like this greater spire in the middle of the hatcheries. So White is really trying to catch the defiler, and one of them died. Sometimes it's just easier to gather up energy and then kill the Rookers under the swarm, and then you can proceed. But it's also effective to kill defilers, of course. Just the problem with that is that defilers can be remade quite fast, but while lurkers are a bit slower to be remade. But yeah, White is taking the time. He's not rushing anywhere. He's just trying to, yeah. And again, yeah, the same thing. If he had a vessel right now, he could easily advance. And by the time the vessel arrives, the swarm is ready, so yeah, that was the problem here. Well, both players now have the economy and have the possibility to really make units. They gave time to each other, basically. Yeah, 1 defense and 2 attack upgrades for Terran as regards the grand units, and 1 defense and 1 attack upgrade for the Zerg grand units. Zerg has, of course, yeah, 1 attack upgrade for the air, while the Terran player doesn't have any upgrades. Although the swarm is stopping the Terran player, as time is progressing, it becomes a bit harder for them to break out, as the Terran player has really a lot of tanks, and it becomes hard to approach. So even with swarms, it becomes a bit difficult to move out, as all those units die before the burrow happens. I'm talking about lurkers. Mass Guardians with Mass Devourers are very nice. They are very effective. And also some queens will come handy, you know, like 4 or 5 queens can really be nice to make broodlings out of the tanks. But anyway, he's just using the tanks and the glides, and it seems it will be enough, as purple wasn't really able to get effective units. Yeah, he lost like three vessels again, so white is not really paying attention to unit control, and he really keeps losing important units that could become very useful, especially right now, because he could just basically irradiate all the lurkers under the swarm and then proceed. And this will die very fast, so this is totally useless here. Maybe I didn't see the defense matrix, but still, yeah, it still died very fast without killing any drones. So the Terran upgrades did not actually change, but purple already has 2 attack and 1 defense upgrade, or 1 armory upgrade for the air units. The problem is that they are not really effective, because the Terran upgrades are very, very strong. So everything will depend on these guardians, and if white manages to catch, then the game will be over. Yeah, the irradiates are not going, and even one... okay, never mind, he wanted to use that vessel to kill the drones. He did not really kill any, because the drones were burrowed. And yeah, those guardians are not really effective in saving him. The vessels and basically the Valkyries together were able to handle those, and then right now purple is also suffering some economical damage. The drones were not mining for a bit longer time, and now he's remaking drones. He's also trying to make more units, and in the meantime white is progressing. He didn't really add more buildings, but he's fine with that. He just has like 10 factories and yeah, 3 starports, so that seems to be enough for him to finish the game. Yeah, both lurkers died before they were able to burrow, so after a time it becomes challenging to just you know, reach this swarm before the tanks shoot them. It becomes very hard to burrow the units to survive the tank shots, and this way the Terran player is able to proceed slowly and patiently, so they really have to take the time and then gradually get to the hatcheries. And once the hatcheries are going down, of course purple has to give up, as no more units will be available. So in the beginning it was a bit sloppy game. I think Terran could have won that game much faster if he kept the Wraiths alive, the vessels alive, and then have detection at the required moment against the lurkers and so on. But yeah, in the end he was consistent, and then yeah, didn't give up on the attack. He was continuously harassing, and then purple basically had to give up, as he had to focus on getting back drones and so on, so he couldn't really focus on making units. And these newer irradiates, of course. are killing a lot of drones. He was able to burrow some, but he doesn't really have hatcheries right now to replenish units, and also the tanks now have a free time. Getting close to the hive. That's it, GG.